The shadow is all those uncivilized desires and emotions that are incompatible with the norms of society and with our ideal personality. It is all that we are ashamed of, that we do not wish to be. But this judgment of the shadow being undesirable, again, leads to inevitably expressing the shadow. The unconscious leaks into the conscious, and before we know it, we are experiencing the disharmony we so aimed to ignore. The shadow snowballs, gets bigger and bigger as we further repress ourselves in the name of maintaining our persona. So a crucial step in individuation is the confrontation and thus assimilation of the shadow. Again, the shadow represents the aspects which are rejected by the ego, but which are projected in other people as belonging to them. It's the darkness which we have separated from our wholeness. Looking at oneself and admitting to jealous, greedy, selfish, narcissistic tendencies, this is making the darkness conscious. It's realizing one's moral deficiencies without the filter of the persona. And through this practice, one finds that the darkness all along was just a coping mechanism, a seed of trauma planted early on in one's development. This makes the darkness actually appear cute and in desperate need of unconditional love, not repression. Individuation is the process of realizing full awareness of our unique nature and our intimate connection with ourselves and thus our surroundings. In summary, the individuation process is as follows: identification and thus stripping of the persona and its inherent falsehoods, the extraction and thus transmutation of the shadow, the parts of ourselves which have remained repressed and thus projected onto external reality, the reconciliation with our inner masculine and feminine aspects and how they are projected onto others, the encounter with the archetypal wise old man and great mother, the divine teacher within that is accessed through bringing the unconscious into the conscious. This is generally not a process which can be completed in a specific time frame. The unconscious cannot be completely assimilated. It is practically infinite in its manifestations. This is why this process is always going on within one who is aiming to achieve true self-realization. Our intentions guide our path and pave the way for expansion. So one must first have the inner fire that says, I want to become whole and truly know thyself. Careful observation of one's thought forms and actions and how they correspond and manifest lead us into realizing our unconscious and thus the perils of swinging from one extreme to another. We must heal. After all, if we cannot heal ourselves, we cannot effectively create the change that many of us feel is so desperately needed in the world.